I know I'm getting older, and so are you, by the way, in case you're wondering. If there's any doubt about that, you are. I know that I'm getting older because I had my 50-year checkup a couple months, a few years. Actually, it's been well over a decade ago now. Just out of how many of you have been through that 50-year checkup hilarity for yourselves? All right, so yeah, you know, the 50-year checkup is the one where the normal, healthy person has their first exposure to the whole idea of the colonoscopy. If I can just break that word down for you briefly as we enter into a time of worship. Colon, that's the last 5 or 6 feet of the large intestine. And oscopy, Latin word, medical term, oscopy, literally translated, garden hose with camcorder. My doctor described for me what I would be enduring. I don't know how I got to be that age, 50 at the time. How did I get to be 50 years of age without knowing what that procedure was? We've just been really healthy in my family, I guess. I don't know. But my doctor described for me what I'd be enduring, and my doctor happens to be one of my closest friends for the last 40 years. And he explained to me what I would be going through, and we joke around. I thought he was joking. So my response to him was, okay. They are going to put me out for this, aren't they? I don't know how I feel about my doctor's bedside manner. He actually laughed in my face. He said, no, Bob, you can watch the whole thing if you want. I said, no, I don't think I'm that flexible. Then I discovered that I had, what's sticky up here? Look at that. I discovered I had to drink 2 big plastic bottles of this stuff meant to cleanse my digestive system. I don't know how you felt about that, ma'am, but I found that stuff to be really effective. 3 a.m. I'm in my favorite place. My wife came in with the empty bottles. She said, you did dilute this stuff, didn't you? That would explain it. Cleanse my digestive system and every other system. I lost computer files that night. Then to make it worse, the instruction sheet from the hospital, and by the way, I help you out financially here. You don't need to do it in the hospital. As it turns out, I didn't know this at the time, but as it turns out, it's probably the most expensive place that you can do it didn't matter to me. I have I had a health insurance policy. It covered virtually everything. But the point is, you can get it cheaper, like in the strip malls. Colonoscopy laundromat places. So, not that convenient, though. Mainly because you have to keep putting in the quarters. And you do not want to be a coin short on that deal, believe me. The instruction sheet said, before you come to the hospital for your 6 a.m. procedure, be sure that you drink, listen, 3,800 milliliters of water. I'm from Minnesota, not Manitoba. I have no idea what I don't know, understand the term. I never studied the metric. I've never sold drugs. I do not know what this means. So 4:30 a.m., I'm in my kitchen with a bowl and a measuring cup and a ruler, trying to figure out how many milliliters are in an inch. Apparently none. But then I start thinking, milla. I think that means thousand, not millions. I think it means 3,800 to how many? 3.8 liters, which is 1/2 cup short of a gallon of water. I couldn't, but I'm thinking, I think that's right. Is that right? That's right. So I did it. And I got to the hospital, and the nurse said, Mr. Stromberg, how are you feeling? I said, well, not great. I just drank a gallon of water. Can you explain to me why I had to do that? I honestly, I wouldn't even think that would be medically safe to do such a thing. She said, well, we're going to do a urinalysis. We need to make sure we have an adequate sample. How much do you need? She said, well, you need to fill up the plastic cup. From here? I hope so, because otherwise this isn't even going to be a challenge. And then she went and she got the plastic cup and she brought it to me, which was just so condescending and honestly disappointing, because I was pretty sure I could have done it. The whole point of the story, of course, I shouldn't say of course, I just tell you, the whole point of the story is it made me feel old. And also, frankly, it made me feel old because the doctor was maybe 15. Fortunately, he didn't come by himself. His girlfriend came along. So they had their earbuds in for the whole procedure. I didn't mind, though. You know why? Because they gave me this sedative. Oh, my goodness. There must be somebody from the medical profession who knows what that's called. What's it called? Versed. That's what it is. I always forget. I know the generic name is Sure, I don't mind. Go ahead, do whatever you want. And that stuff, man. Frank, that got me wondering. The Versed got me wondering what general anesthesia must be like, because I've never experienced that. Or if I have,